It so happens that a video about Meghan Markle tip to jettison Prince Harry as she presses on with own ambitions was deleted from the internet, and you're gonna find out why. This was an original tweet by Celtic Drivesman. He said, "As I said, divorce is coming. But when you click on the link, it says page missing. The article was nowhere to be found. But thanks to the magic of the internet that never forgets if you know where to look, I got access to the deleted article, and this is it. Meghan Markle tipped to jettison Prince Harry as she presses on with own ambitions. She's preparing to jettison as she looks to the future and a possible run at the US presidency, a PR guru has claimed. Richard Hillgrove suggested that the Duchess of Sussex would have been well aware of the optics resulting from her husband delivering his keynote UN speech in New York last month. Mr. Hillgrove, who has in the past worked with Charles Saatchi, Julian Assange, Amber Heard, Rose McGowan, and Dame Vivienne Westwood, claims the entire episode was part of a very deliberate attempt to demonstrate Harry's flagging popularity and prove Meghan needed to move on to pastures new. During the course of his speech, Harry, 37, raised eyebrows by referencing the decision of the US Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, the landmark 1973 legal ruling that in effect legalized abortion. Harry also warned of a global threat to democracy, even though he himself is not entitled to vote. Mr. Hillgrove told Express, "We all need to feel very sorry for Harry, who has been hung out to dry. But this was always on the cards from day one, in fact, well before day one. Harry's friends and relatives had tried to warn him of the risks of marrying the former Suits actress," Mr. Hillgrove claimed. Jettisoning Harry paves the way for Meghan's US presidential ambitions, which Harry can't play any part in any way. What we are watching is the gradual steps towards the disposal. Meghan and Harry, who stepped down as frontline royals in 2020 and moved to the United States, have established a new life for themselves in Montecito in California, buying a multi-million-pound home and launching a non-profit foundation. They have also signed lucrative deals, believed to be worth more than $100 million, with Spotify and Netflix giving them the money to pursue their new lifestyle and public goals. Well, that is if they finally deliver on that promise. Meghan last week celebrated her 41st birthday privately with Harry and their children, Archie and Lilibet. In April, both delivered speeches at the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games in the Netherlands, less than 2 months after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Harry told the Ukrainian competitors, "Our bravery in choosing to come and for being here tonight cannot be overstated. You told me yesterday when you decided to join us despite all odds, you said you came to be on this global stage, not simply to show your strength, but to tell your truth." That telling your truth, that's something that Meghan or Amber Heard do of what is happening in your country. Meghan said, "For each team, my husband and I both recognize it's been a lot to get here, both physically and emotionally, not least for the Ukraine team, who we are all standing with." On October 9, 2018, just 5 months after her marriage, Meghan herself made a speech to the UN in which she said she had unknowingly and somehow accidentally became a female advocate at the age of 11. You know that story. She explained, "It was around the same time as the Beijing conference, so a little over 20 years ago, where in my hometown of Los Angeles, a pivotal moment reshaped my notion of what is possible. See, I had been in school watching a TV show in elementary school, and this commercial came on with the tagline for the dishwashing liquid, and the tagline said, 'Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans.' 2 boys from my class said, 'Yeah, that's where women belong, in the kitchen.' Well, you know, recollections might vary." Encouraged by Father Thomas, Meghan came home and wrote to the most powerful people I could think of, she added. She said, "To my surprise, I received letters of encouragement from Hillary Clinton, from Linda Ellerbee, and from Gloria Allred. It was amazing." Never happened, according to Thomas Markle in Tom Bauer's book Revenge. Speaking this month about Meghan's prospects of a career in politics, journalist Tom Bauer, author of Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, said, I think she'd quite like a political role. I think she'll first wait to see her children into school. She'll build the foundations for it. But she's a very good looking woman. She's sassy. She's got her issues like parental rights. There have been worse people who have been congresswomen, so there's a good chance. Express has contacted the Sussexes via Archwell for comment. But you can see that there's so many clues of Meghan wanting a political career. It's paving the way to it, and definitely it's like she used this makes sense about the UN speech, Harry's UN speech, because he did such a lousy job at that. And I think this was by design. It was like Meghan proving that she's the most efficient, or the better public speaker of the two, or the one that can handle these matters better in some way. Like she is the one that can do this the right way. So in some sense, it's by contrast that Harry doing such a lousy job trying to speak for these matters, she's gonna excel at that job. And that is the reason why they speak about the Ukrainian conflict, and they talk about all these bandwagons they keep jumping on, and they do all this stuff and not the jobs, the work they were hired for. You were hired to make a podcast. No podcast yet. You know why? They're not interested in that. They know it's not gonna give them the money they need or the power they need for what Meghan wants in this case. And it's not always that what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Because in this case, if she wants to place a foot into the White House in any way, or the Congress, she has a very long road in front of her. And of course, she has to drop the titles. And that dropping the titles either is Duchess Meghan, or Princess Meghan, or Queen Meghan, or Emperor Meghan, or whatever you want to call her. She has to do something about Harry. Harry is the matter here. So that must be the reason why we have these pieces that make so much logic, and suspiciously they were deleted immediately upon being published. That says a lot of what it's at play here. Someone doesn't want everyone to know about this plan. Someone wants to keep this in obscurity. But we will keep connecting the dots and unearthing whatever piece of information we need to make sense of what are Meghan Markle plans for the future. Because this is part of it. This is the path. These are the breadcrumbs we must follow to understand that future. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas, the body language guy, and until we meet in another live or another video, remember, much love and bliss. Take care. Love you all.